I want to play a game where we all think about the worst person that we know and then imagine them on BookTok, because chances are they're already on there. And today I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the worst people on BookTok, or just the people that I don't generally associate myself with. This is all based on my own experience and my own opinions. Please don't complain at me in the comments. We all have our own experiences, we all have our own niches on BookTok or whatever community that we're in. But yeah, I want to talk about people that I have experiences with on BookTok and the types of things that I see on BookTok, and why I think part of it is so negative and the issues that I have with it. So I have my notes on my phone with my Free Palestine sticker, and then I'm also going to insert like pictures and videos so you can see what I'm talking about. But I'm just going to list out my issues and then I'm going to do a deep dive. So first, we have no empathy or accountability. Men who join BookTok purely to get women to fawn over them and get famous. Platforming authors who have shown to be problematic over and over again. A lack in critical thinking skills and a lack in individuality. When I talk about no empathy or accountability, I think this is something that I see a lot on my page specifically, because I do talk a lot about problematic / Zionist authors. I try to make my page like a safe space for everybody, and with that comes me expressing that you're always going to matter and I'm always going to like stand up for you on my page. I'm never going to put a problematic author's opinion or work above real people who they have hurt with their actions. So I see that a lot with my own page. I see comments of people telling me that they don't care, they're just going to read whatever they want because they enjoy it. They don't think that it should matter because you can separate the art from the artist, which you cannot do. And that is where I see a big lack in empathy and accountability. People really don't understand how a fictional work can negatively affect somebody, and I don't know if it's because they don't want to see their own bigoted views in the work that they read and they support, or they can see the parallels, they just don't care. And I don't really know which one is worse, honestly. They're both pretty bad. But to put this into perspective, I have talked quite a bit on my account about Sarah J. Maas and how much I dislike her and how problematic she is. She used Breonna Taylor's murder to promote her book, and she also is a Zionist. There is an article of her talking about how much she loves Israel, how her grandmother was volunteering for the IDF, and how she wants to go on a birthright trip to Israel with her. And people are always like, oh well, that was a long time ago, that was X amount of years ago. But my thing is, if I was ever on record for saying something like that, I would want to clear it up if I didn't believe in it anymore. So to me, if nobody clears that up, I'm going to assume that you still think that way, and that is still how your brain works, because you haven't shown me otherwise. Why would I just assume that you've changed your mind when the things that you write in your books are still reflective of Israel and Palestine, are still reflective of you killing off POC characters or using them to propel your white character's story? I haven't seen any change in her, so that's why I talk about it, because she is so popular and I don't know how many people really understand how harmful she's been, or like that she is a Zionist, or any of the things that have happened. So I talk about it a lot, and I always get comments under those videos of her stans coming out of the woodworks to talk about it, or to say that I'm being a bully, or I'm being hateful, or I should just let people read what they want to read. And okay, one thing I want to be clear about is I'm never telling people you can't read this book. But if you're making the active choice to platform a Zionist author, you should be able to handle the criticism and the critique that comes with it. I'm going to say you shouldn't read this book or you shouldn't platform this person, but I'm never going to come up to you or look you dead in your face and say you can't read this book. I'm never going to rip that book out of your hands. So I don't really understand the angle that people come from with this. I think they want to paint me to be this person that is saying, oh, you can't read this book and I'm a big bully. But I think that if you're on a public platform, you have to be ready for criticism. I see it every single day on my account. I don't know, like, you shouldn't if you're on a public platform. And the way that they spin it is always that I'm the bad guy, that I'm controlling what people read, or that I'm being a bully, or that I'm spreading hate. And that's where the no accountability comes in, because me flagging somebody promoting a problematic author is not bullying, but they use the deflection of, oh, well, reading is just like, nobody should control what you read. Reading is a hobby. Reading is something I do to escape from the real world, and so you shouldn't be telling me what to do. But in reality, I'm never telling somebody what they can and can't do, I'm just using what I have learned about certain people and educating other people. And if you're gonna be a bully and a racist, I'm going to make a comment or I'm going to make a video about it because you're being racist. There have been a few videos that I have talked about where Trump supporters especially are being super just like racist and disgusting when it comes to books and like who they're defending and why they don't see an issue with something. And me making a response to that is not the end of the world. It's not. People just can't take accountability if somebody has some constructive criticism to give. And so I'm gonna take this time to show you some of the comments that I have had on my videos about Sarah J. Maas, because some of these things are wild. I made a response video on TikTok, so you're gonna see a screenshot of what those comments were. Some of them are mild. This one says, I definitely separate the art from the artist the way I don't even pay attention to authors and just pick up books that sound interesting. This is where the lack of critical thinking comes in as well, because if you actually thought about it, you cannot separate the art from the artist. The only time that applies is when the artist is dead. This is where the no empathy comes in as well. You don't pay attention to the authors. It's not like these books are detached from the author. It's not like a random robot wrote this book. This book is tied to the person who wrote it. And if you don't see that the things that they do are very harmful to their audience, if they are racist in their personal life, you still want to buy a book from them. You still want to promote them. That shows such a lack of empathy with people probably in your personal life or people that you are showing books to online. Like, that is where the lack of empathy and the lack of critical thinking comes in on this side of Book Talk. This one says, I don't particularly care unless she is maliciously harming animals, children, or elders. I enjoy the art that she created, and even if she is a bad person, the art that she created is still wonderful. So this person can acknowledge, but they don't care. So again, a lack of empathy that is seen across the board, because at this point, like, you know. And then the next one says, well, you stay on that side and everyone else can enjoy them. I love my throne of glass and refuse to care about creators who judge. I am gonna judge. I'm not gonna bully, but I am gonna judge if I see you platforming these authors. Like, I don't understand what is so hard to understand about that. And again, I think it comes back to people not wanting to face their own lack of empathy when these videos come up on their For You page, or they do know and they don't care. Obviously, it's one of the two. This one says, gonna go out and buy another special edition copy of one of her books. Thanks so much for the rec. Like, these people think that they're doing something. They think that they're being so funny, but they are just exhibiting some really unempathetic social awareness. Like, it's actually crazy when I'm going back through these comments. Someone says, I just want to read books. We all just want to read books. That is what Book Talk is about. And I think Book Talk has made thinking about what you're reading non-existent, because like, reading can be for fun. Reading can be distracting. It can be to unplug from what is going on around us. But if you can't recognize certain things in the books that you're reading, when you're reading to unplug, then you're not reading critically. And not that you always have to be, but it shouldn't be something that you don't do at all if it comes up in the book that you're reading. Like, just because I'm gonna read a smutty romance book because I don't want to think critically about dissecting allegory in a history book, it doesn't mean that if something comes up that is a little bit weird for an author to say, or a little bit of a racial undertone of a phrase that they're saying, I'm gonna not flag it. Like, you should still be able to use those parts of your brain when you're reading, even if that is not your intention when reading. And I don't think that a lot of people are doing that on Book Talk. I think that they think reading for fun means reading for fun and never thinking too hard about what is in your book. And I guess you can enjoy doing that. I guess you can, but there's always going to be somebody that has something to say about it. And I have something to say about that. I think it's really a disservice to yourself to not look deeper into something when it comes up in a book, even if your intention of reading said book was not to think deeper in the first place. That's what I have to say about that. And then someone says, this one was crazy actually. Somebody said, I don't care about a thing she's done. She could have killed a puppy and I'd still buy her books. Lack of empathy. Like, what are you talking about? You should never ever go that hard for somebody that you don't know and somebody you do know. Like, what do you mean? That is such an insane thing to say, especially when it's just somebody talking about a problematic author. Like, why is this striking such a chord with you? Nobody is going to rip these books out of your hands. We're just saying, like, maybe we should take a deeper look about who we are promoting on our pages. And if you don't want to take a look at that, then you have to be prepared for people to have something to say about it. And I don't understand where that disconnect is. So that is where the lack of empathy and the lack of critical thinking comes in. And then there was, like, A really big problem that I see with Sarah J Maas is that it gets people a lot of views and a lot of likes and a lot of comments and followers to talk about her books. So I guess I can see why people do it and they don't want to acknowledge the harmful things that she's done. But sometimes morals should come before money is the biggest thing that I've learned, is that people don't think that way. There was another video that I saw and it was somebody using a Sarah J Maas book to say how reading is political. I thought it was really ironic and kind of funny to use her as a way to say reading is political because of the things that she has done, using Breonna Taylor's murder to promote her book, being a Zionist, just like somebody that you shouldn't be using to say that reading is political, I guess. And so I think I might have stitched a video about it and said like, this is kind of ironic given the nature of the things that she has said and done. And the creator and I had a conversation in our DMs, and this, like, something that has happened to me so many times is book creators posting about SJM, me like leaving a little DM because we're mutuals, and then them saying, oh, thank you so much for letting me know, I didn't know, and then never changing their behavior. And so usually I just like quietly unfollow and I like remove them as a follower. But since I thought this conversation that we had was so productive, because also it can be really exhausting as a Palestinian person to constantly explain these things to people and see them not care. So I was just like on a bad day. It was a bad day and I blocked them because it is just exhausting to constantly go out of my way to try and educate people. Well, not even like go out of my way because that's what I like doing, but like to have these conversations with somebody in their DMs and then be strung along like you care and then see on my For You page that you don't actually care, when you could have just saved us both the time and the energy and like not had this conversation with me in the first place. So that's my section on Sarah J Maas. If we move on to the next thing on the list, men who join BookTok purely to get women to fawn over them and get famous. I have many male mutuals on BookTok and I think that their content is amazing. I think that they have such good book recommendations. I can tell that they are passionate and they love to read. This is specifically about those men who hop on a trend because it'll get them followers and it'll get them money very quickly, because men on BookTok is not something that you see very often, or at least the type of man that they are portraying themselves to be is not seen a lot on BookTok. And so I have a couple, I don't know if you guys remember this or if you were on BookTok at this time, but there is this guy named Ryan, I guess. I'm gonna put the video here, and he was charging like $70 to watch him read a Penelope Douglas book on live. Who does that? If you actually enjoyed reading, why would you be charging somebody $70 to watch you read a Penelope Douglas book? Penelope Douglas is a very like taboo dark romance author, and so obviously people are going to watch it. He picks a specific book because of the content that's in there. What are you doing? You obviously do not care. You do not give a fuck about Penelope Douglas. You don't care about her books. You don't care about people that enjoy reading. You're just trying to leech off of women's validation to get famous and get popular. That's another thing. Like we don't have to be in their comments like thirsting over them. We should be able to spot when somebody is like doing something for views versus because they actually like it. Bike Talk, all of the people in the comments from BookTok, or like on, oh my god, on like a professional sports page, hundreds of BookTok comments. Oh, BookTok is gonna love this. Oh, this is who I imagine when I'm reading X book. Oh my god, where are the BookTok girlies at? Like, guys, can we please not? Can we please stop? Like, this is about the men. There's also another TikTok that I had actually made a response to, and it says, no, because how do I explain this to a woman? And it's literally just a bed full of the most popular books that you can find at Barnes & Noble. Like, I swear this person went to the BookTok table and bought one of each, and then after this video they went and returned it. Because what do you mean, how do I explain this to a woman? Women make up the majority of BookTok. You don't need to explain anything to us. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I like this genre of man actually irks me so bad. It is so easy to see through what they're doing, and they constantly pop up on my For You page. And that's why I don't scroll my For You page actually. I just scroll like my following, because like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And why are we falling for it? Guys, why are we falling for it? Like, there's The Cruel Prince on here. There is Sarah J Maas. There is Twisted Love by Anna Huang. There's Colleen Hoover. There's Red Rising. He's also a Zionist. There's Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Scythe. Like, Shatter Me. You're like, I know for a fact that this man did not buy these books and read all of them. And it's just so, it's like funny, but it's also so annoying, because from the surface this seems like what BookTok is, like men making videos like this and then the people in the comments eating it up, and then also we're more than that. We're more than that. And so if I had a wish, like maybe the TikTok ban needs to happen, you know? That really irks me. That is what I mean when I say like the worst person you know is on BookTok. It's a man trying to get women's validation by pretending to do something that women like. Like, be yourself, like be yourself. So the next one is platforming authors who have shown to be problematic over and over again. And this goes hand in hand with like the SJM stuff. Sophie Lark had her controversy. There's a lot of other authors who have gone through some hot water that people still constantly promote, and it's really popular booktokers. It's people with hundreds of thousands of followers, and I know that they've seen it because I've been blocked. Like I've talked about it and I've been blocked. I know that they know, and so it just makes me so irritated, and I'm really trying not to like let the irritation and anger get to me. Like I'm just trying to not interact with stuff like that. But this is why I have an issue with certain people on BookTok, because I know that you know these authors are really problematic and have probably written harmful things about people that watch you, or have maybe acted in ways that would be harmful to your audience. And I don't understand wanting to platform people like that. But then I see how many views and likes the videos get, and I'm like, okay, I understand now. Like, you just want the views and the money and the likes and whatever, which is another reason why I just scroll who I'm following, because I just like can't see another person recommending Sarah J Maas. I can't see another tandem read. I can't see another Fourth Wing vlog. Like, I can't do it. So it's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Like, why are we doing this still? Why are we platforming Trump supporter authors? Why are we excusing racism in books? Why are we like accepting apologies from authors that are not our apologies to accept? It's just so crazy. It is so crazy. What really boggles my mind about this is that reading is one of the only ways to really get exposed to the world around you. It is one of the only ways to stimulate your brain and learn new things and gain empathy for people that you'll never meet, to gain empathy for stories that will never be yours to tell, that you'll never meet somebody who's gone through these things. And to see it kind of get boiled down on BookTok to promoting problematic authors and ignoring like a very real genocide that is going on and promoting people that support that is just so mind-boggling to me. I don't think that reading can never be fun and that you can't ever unplug from the world to read. That doesn't mean you have to ignore it at the same time. And I know it's exhausting. Like, I understand how exhausting it is to have to be on and have to like be aware of these things. But I'm not saying you have to do it all the time. I'm just saying to not do it at all is like pretty frustrating and it's pretty irritating, and it is warranted to have an opinion about people that are not speaking about these things at all, or that are constantly promoting things that again are just like not things that I would want to promote to my audience. And that is a very personal thing. That is a very personal opinion, which is why this is my video and why I have these opinions. I don't expect people who think other than me to agree with what I'm saying. I think there's two sides to BookTok, and I am not on the very popular side. I try not to interact with stuff like that. And then my last point about the no individuality, I guess when I'm scrolling my For You page, which like I said, I don't really do anymore, I'm always seeing the same things, and I am at fault. I will pick up a book because I see that it's popular on BookTok, or like popular from my mutuals, because I trust them more than I trust my For You page. Everybody reads the same things, and I feel like if I'm scrolling my For You page, I'm not getting a lot of diverse recommendations. I'm getting a lot of white authors, a lot of romantasy. And that's not to say that things that are popular aren't good or that things shouldn't get popular, but I think a lot of people would enjoy a lot more books, a lot of different types of books, if they searched it on their own instead of seeing what was popular online and going to buy it. It's like micro trends in fashion, or when people on TikTok come on and say, what are we wearing this summer? What shoe are we wearing this summer? Like, why can't we think about it for ourselves? Why can't we just take a stroll into the store, read the back of the book, and see if we like it? I think there are so many books to be discovered, and I understand like getting into reading can be really daunting because there are so many books out there and you might not know what you like. I think at the same time, once you figure it out, it's okay to like go against the grain. It's okay to not read what is popular on TikTok. It's okay to pick up a book that no one's ever heard of, because sometimes those are the best books that you have ever found, and it can become one of your favorites. I want to see diverse book recommendations, and I'm so grateful that my mutuals have those. I just wish it was more popular. I wish it was more mainstream. But yeah, those are my thoughts on BookTok and the people that are on there, and the side of BookTok that I am not really on, because these things just bother me so bad. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you liked this video. I know my last video was also like another video essay type of vibe, but I think it's fun to talk about this stuff. I love reading, but I also love talking. So yeah, let me know if you liked this. Let me know what opinions you share with me, or if you completely disagree. I think having conversations about this is really fun and interesting and stimulating, so I hope you don't feel like you can't have those conversations. I just wanted to be clear that this was my opinion and nobody is forcing you to feel this way. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, like, subscribe, all of that stuff. I hope you are all staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!